What's up, everyone? The teams have been formed, the HOH has been crowned, and the house guests are competing for a record-breaking $750,000 US. So without further ado, guys, it fills me with absolute enjoyment and pleasure to say welcome to your live feed update. Now, right before we get started, folks, if you are new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button and the bell icon to get notified every single time a brand new upload goes live on the channel. And if you guys want to hit me up on social media, I've got my handles for Twitter and Instagram right up there. Okay, folks, let's jump right into the updates. Okay, so with Frenchie as the first head of household of the summer, of course, that puts him in a rock-solid position in week one. Usually, the person who becomes head of household in week one really sets the tone for the entire season, cementing alliances and plans that are going to sort of translate for the rest of the season, as it has been in previous Big Brother years more recently. But this, I've got a feeling this year things are going to be a bit different. Everyone seems like they're here to play. I don't necessarily think it's just going to be one big alliance that's sort of going, okay, you're going this week, you're going this week, you're going this week. There really is going to be a lot of different things going on. So, obviously, with Frenchie as the head of household, he wasted no time whatsoever cementing an alliance with somebody outside of his Joker's team, and he formed an alliance with Tiffany. So they are the two oldest house guests in the house, and they sort of bonded over that sort of fact and said that, you know, they're going to look out for each other, and said because they're the older house guest, they've got to make sure that they don't go early, so they want to sort of take care of each other. And Frenchie sort of was talking about Big Brother 21, and he brought up the fact that he hated the fact that the minorities were targeted early in that season, and he didn't like the fact Cliff was targeted earlier as well as the older person. So that's why he wants to make sure that's not going to happen this season with him as the head of household, or the first head of household. And also his alliance with Tiffany is also going to try and stop that, with both of them being the older house guests, looking out for each other. So if either are in power, even though they're not in the same team, they want to make sure that they are not targeting each other. Xavier and Alyssa had a conversation in regards to Frenchie being the head of household, and Xavier sort of brought up the point that they should talk to Frenchie very, very soon, or very quickly, you know, because obviously first impressions are huge in the Big Brother house, and if you say something to someone on day one, it's probably going to cement with them more when they are looking for someone to trust, rather than, you know, saying something to them on day four when, you know, those alliances have already started to get pretty solid, or those bonds are starting to get very solid. Of course, it's Big Brother and you can expect the unexpected, but you know, that is a fantastic point that Xavier brought up about the fact that you should get in someone's ear quickly, because he just sort of feels that, you know, he's going to be loyal to those who he gives his word to. And you know, what really pleased me to hear after this was Xavier and Alyssa went on to sort of say that they didn't like in Big Brother 21 how there was a big alliance that dominated the entire house, like Grateful. I mean, that's half the house, that's half the damn house, Grateful. They were 8 out of 16. And obviously with David gone early doors in that season as well, they held the majority with 8-7 as well. So, you know, it's kind of good to hear these people saying they don't want that to happen, because, you know, whether or not they would be part of it or not, it's good to sort of hear that, because, I mean, I guess, you know, as somebody who would, you know, if you go into the house, you'd probably want to, if someone said 8-person alliance, do you want to come in? Of course you're going to say yes, because it's going to give you safety. But it's nice to hear these people literally say, no, we don't want that, because then it sort of means there's going to be more dynamics for us to watch, and probably a more entertaining season as a result of it. So very, very happy to hear Xavier and Alyssa talking about that. And, you know, just them sort of bringing up that solid point, you know, of literally making the point of saying we don't want anything going on like that. Fantastic to hear. Now, whilst no Grateful size alliance has been formed, we kind of have a 6 that's sort of going on. It's nothing, you know, it's obviously it's only night one, you know, nothing sort of going, yes, this is going to be the final 6 or anything like that. But a kind of 6-person alliance has been formed, named the Slaughterhouse. So it got a name, so it's legit enough, and it's a strong name, being the Slaughterhouse. And this involves Frenchie as Brittany, Derek F, Claire, and Hannah. So they will be part of the Slaughterhouse alliance. Let's see how that one turns out, and let's see how long it lasts for. Frenchie was telling Derek F and Claire that he's going to struggle when it comes to making nominations and how difficult it is. And you know what? Even if in his head he is, I nearly got that wrong there. Even if in his head he is thinking that it's very easy to make nominations, obviously on the surface you've got to go, it's not easy. It really isn't easy, because it's just typical chat on Big Brother. You've got to sort of make out as if you are having a really difficult time to sort of make your nominations. But I mean, let's be honest, right? Okay, I mean, you guys can let me know in the comment section. I know for a fact if I'd won head of household, I would immediately have an idea of the 2 people I want to put up, because that's what you are. When you're head of household, that's your your main sort of role. That's your main duty. You're sort of thinking, who am I going to put up on the block? Who is the biggest threat to my game? Who do I want to get out this week? So Frenchie will definitely have in mind who he wants to sort of put up on the block, but he's not going to let that on just yet because he wants to dangle the carrot in front of people so they'll come and dangle the carrot. He did with Claire telling him that she's going to have his back, so that kind of worked there. And Claire's just sort of promising loyalty there. And, Frenchie went on to sort of discuss how he wants to sort of see who's very appreciative of the game and who's very appreciative to be a house guest in the game. And he said that he sees that in Claire, so I would imagine that Claire is not going to be one of his nominees this week. And I think it's obviously as well with Frenchie as a team captain, it's probably a good idea for him to strike some form of deal with Claire as she's a team captain as well. And if he sees that she's appreciative of the game and that's something Frenchie respects, that's something to bond over. That's something to get together and go, boom, we're working together. So I think he's much more likely to work with Claire as a team captain maybe than the other team captains. Only because, I would say obviously with Whitney and Christian, I would say, they obviously, I think they're both fans of the game, but I would say Claire's definitely the biggest fan of the game. Frenchie seems to be a fan of the game as well, so I would see them two working together more so. But Frenchie brought up the fact that he also sees Brittany as somebody who has a strong appreciation for the game, and Brittany's in his team anyway, so she can't be nominated, but it's good that, Frenchie's sort of eyeing those people out who really are fans of the game, and he wants to keep them around. Sticking to the point of talking about Frenchie knowing who he wants to nominate, he definitely has an idea because he told Tiffany that from the moment he won Head of Household, he was sure that he wouldn't be nominating any women for eviction or targeting any women for eviction. He wants to sort of protect the ones who are closest to him, such as Tiffany, Derek F, and Brittany. He also went on to say that he realises that he thinks a showman's is brewing already. He didn't say exactly who he thinks it is, but he's convinced that the showman's brewing already. And he said he wants to be the showman's killer of the season. That is something you don't often hear in Big Brother. The showman's is usually formed. They usually make it about halfway, with probably one of them going on towards the end, towards the final three. So Frenchie is fully aware of what damage a showman's can do. We've seen showman's year after year go to the end. I mean, just in recent years, let's talk about Jackson and Holly. They made it all the way to the final two. Tyler and Angela all the way at the final four. They can do damage once they get together, and they can be unstoppable. So Frenchie realises that as a fan, and he wants to sort of cut that before even it even can happen. So he wants to make sure he can break up a showman. So saying he's going to be the showman's killer of the season, they are strong words. Let's see if he follows through on it. More talks of being a fan now, and Alyssa was telling Frenchie that she is a huge fan of the show, and she'd actually auditioned 4 times before she actually got onto Big Brother. So massive congratulations to Alyssa there. I'm just bringing that up there. Somebody who continues to hustle and audition year after year and eventually get there. That is the spirit, and I respect the determination there. And it's good to sort of see, people talking about being fans. It just makes me really happy. So, Frenchie was sort of saying, Alyssa, you're in a fantastic position right now. Everybody loves you. You're not going to be targeted. I'm pretty sure that's near enough confirmation from the head of household that he's not going to nominate her. And, the fact that he talked about he's not going to nominate a woman and then going on to tell her that would be kind of quite sleazy and low if he had told Alyssa, everybody likes you, you're totally safe. And then he went on to nominate her. I mean, it would be good entertainment for a blind side, but it would be sleazy gameplay, and Frenchie would be shooting himself in the foot, by doing that and sort of going back on that, because they seem to sort of slightly have a bond going on already, and for him to damage that would be, frankly, quite stupid. So I think see, the thing is, with week one, everybody's got, pardon my French for a second, but you've got to kiss a little ass on week one, and because the HOH gets all the info, and Frenchie will be loving that right now. He'll be loving the fact that people are coming to him, giving him information, people going, I've got your back, Frenchie, I'm not going to get you out. But also, the fan in Frenchie will be telling him, everybody is purposefully kissing my ass right now, because that's what you do on week one, or when anyone's at the HOH, you sort of go up to kiss their ass, because it's usually the only way you can get safety. Because, I mean, let's be honest, right? If 14 people went to kiss someone's ass and one person didn't, I mean, I would say that one person is likely going to be in jeopardy, because people like their ass being kissed. This is going off on a tangent now, but you guys get the drift. I mean, as Big Brother fans, you'll understand that as soon as someone's HOH, people are up there straight away, chatting to the head of household and promising them all sorts, and that's no exception here for the first head of household of Big Brother 23. Once again, big alliance talk was had with Whitney and Tiffany, saying that they really hope that there hasn't been one formed already, as they are not a part of it if it has. There has not been one formed as of yet. I mean, it's night one. more so could happen over the next couple of days, but we just don't know. But anyway, Whitney and Tiffany were discussing that, and they sort of said they're both like Frenchie. Again, Frenchie, even though he's the head of household, and it's typical for people to just kiss up to the head of household, people genuinely seem to like Frenchie, and it's working for him. His social game's working, and obviously his comp game's working because he won the first head of household competition. He won the first head of household competition as well as the team captain comp as well. So Frenchie's kind of killing it so far. But Whitney and Tiffany said that they both want to work with Frenchie. They didn't say this to him, but they were just discussing it amongst themselves because they are all parents. I have no doubt in my mind that some form of a parents alliance will form with them, and I'm there for it. I think I love the older house guests getting together. I mean, none of them are really old, but the older sort of more mature ones who do have kids. I think it's a great cause, fighting for your family just like that. So it'd be brilliant to see them get together and form an alliance. It seems quite apparent that Alyssa is, I think, suffering from nerves on night one, having puked already. So let's hope she's doing okay there. Obviously, this isn't really one to smile about or get excited about as an update. It's more sort of a bit worrying for her, but I'm sure she's going to be okay. I'm sure it's probably just anxiety and just the nerves of being in the Big Brother house. It's a massive thing. So, having been in sequester for so many weeks and then just throwing yourself into a big social situation like that, I think there's fair reasoning for her feeling like that. So, hoping Alyssa's doing okay there, and I'm sending good vibes to her. Whitney brought up to Frenchie, how does he feel about working with her, Tiffany and Brittany, as well as one other competitor, and Frenchie sort of chimed in and said that he really likes Derek F. Whitney and Tiffany were both game for that and said that they would really like that to happen. So though nothing has solidly been formed yet of those, I would imagine that we will sort of likely be seeing something formed today on the live feed, so that'll be exciting to sort of see a little something from there. I mean, I do like everybody in that list, so that'll be a nice alliance. But they are not wasting any time. All these parents, they're getting together and wanting to form something. Great gameplay already. Alyssa and Derek F had a conversation, and they said that they will be looking out for one another, having each other's backs. And sort of Derek said he was worried about all the guys being really, really tight and picking off people one by one. I think people are really thinking about Jack and Mickey from BB21 and just thinking about the damage they did very, very early in the game. So people are stressed about that and worried that it's going to be a repeat of that season. And then they both discussed already that Derek X and Travis seem to be very, very tight. So they already really do have a target on their back, and it's only night one. It's crazy. You can't just stick with one person on night one and just sort of immediately get that target on your back. It's painful to watch as a viewer. Some people are waiting their whole life to get into the Big Brother house, and then or a good chunk of their life to get into the Big Brother house, and then you go and do something like that on week one where you get really, really tight with someone, or you seem to look like you're tight with someone. Move around, talk to people, mingle. Although you might have your favourites, you've still got to not make it look like that, because if you just stick to one person, it can work, but equally it can damage your game. So it's finding that very fine balance, and it's difficult. It really is difficult, but obviously really hasn't worked out for Derek X and Travis there, with Alyssa and Derek F already discussing that they're very tight. So Alyssa then went on to sort of reassure Derek F that the guys will not be safe this week. I'm sure she sort of caught wind of Frenchie discussing the fact that there will be no women going up this week. So I think it's starting to sort of echo through the house that Frenchie will be targeting probably some form of a showman. So I would imagine, as he said, it's not the women. I imagine he would target a guy's side of the showman's. Whitney seems to be making enemies pretty fast. Maybe enemies is a strong word, but people are talking about her. In the poker chip parlor, we had the guys. It was Christian, Travis, Kyland, and Derek X. And Christian was bringing up the fact that as soon as Frenchie had won HOH, they were in the bathroom, and Whitney went in and said to Frenchie, I think you should put up a guy and a girl from the losing teams, and then backdoor somebody. And Christian was saying, like, why are you talking about backdooring already to these guys, and saying that's somebody who can't be trusted and all that sort of stuff. And do you know what? I mean, he brings up a valid point, whilst, I'm sure Whitney had no malice intended in that she's playing the game, and that's a fair enough reason to target someone. That's a fair enough reason to rally people against someone and say, oh, they're playing really hard already. You've got to find every little reason that you have. It's Big Brother. You've got to lie. You've got to backstab. You've got to manipulate. And that's exactly what Christian's doing right there. And, he's got 4 people in the room right there that are going, yes, that's a great point. And that's 4 people who, if they win head of household next week, aren't going to be targeting each other. It could likely be on Whitney. Obviously, it's night one, so that moment could have been just minuscule, but it might carry through. You never know. Always sort of good to speculate about these little moments in Big Brother. Not much strategy talk in regards to this one, but Sarah and Arza were sort of talking to each other for quite a while. As I said, nothing strategy wise, but they just seem to be getting along very well. And two people who probably should watch out for socially. I don't necessarily think bang, they're going to be a duo straight away, but it's two people who are getting along quite well. So I would imagine they will not be targeting each other should it come down to it. But they were sort of chatting for a while in the bedroom whilst they were unpacking, just talking about general sort of stuff. They were talking about Disney for a while, I think, and then they went on to talk about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So yeah, they were sort of bonding over that sort of thing. And I think Azza was sort of joking about how fitting stuff into her suitcase, she felt like Mary Poppins when everything was going in. So yeah, quite a lot of Disney talk going on there. But they seem to be getting along quite well. Props to them for standing strong socially on night one. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. I have an absolute blast every single time I can talk about Big Brother on here. And, with Big Brother 23 finally underway, I'm so happy. And it just fills me with such joy to be talking about all the live feeds and what's going on in the house again. And it's good to be back. It's good to be back in a couple of words there, folks. But again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I hope you all enjoyed the premiere as well. And, I'm sure quite a lot of you watched the live feeds last night. But if you missed anything, obviously, all updated there. And I hope you guys did enjoy listening to me talk about what's going on in the house. But again, as I said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's staying safe, staying positive, and being kind to one another out there. Staying healthy. But in the meantime, guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and do all of that stuff. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking so far. Let me know about your favourites, who you thinking is going to be looking strong right out the gate, who's looking a bit weak, who do you think is going to be targeted, who do you think, have you got an early winner pick, who's going to be nominated. There's so much to discuss, guys, and that's what the comment section's for. So let me know down there, and I might just join in to a conversation with you guys, because I do love chatting with fellow Big Brother fans. But guys, again, thank you so much for watching. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.